Thank you. And now, Safe Families. Let's invite Sally. Let's give Sally a round of applause. Thank you, Sally, for coming. Sally, tell us a bit about yourself. You're from another church in Oxford, as well as working for Safe Families. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, great. So, my name is Sally. I'm actually part of Oxford Community Church. I've lived in Oxford now for about 21 years. And in the start of March, I started working for Safe Families. I have to get it right, family and community manager. I have a slightly different role than other people who work for the charity, so every time I have to think about it.
That is great, and thank you for coming. I'm going to give you this clicker.
Great.
Sally is to the right to go next. Yeah. Sally works for Safe Families in Oxford, but each church has a coordinator for Safe Families who are involved. And Fraser, he's not here yet. He probably will be soon. Oh, he is here. He's right there. Fraser is our coordinator. So anyway, over to you, Sally.
Great. Thank you. So, part of our vision at Safe Families is that no one should feel alone. So we work nationally. There should be not that one. That one. No. Oh, I thought I had the national statistics. Oh. Okay, never mind. I had some national statistics about, we work in 50 plus different local authorities, and there's some brilliant statistics about the number of churches that we have connected with vulnerable families in their community. Let me do... There we go. So in Oxford, we have only just started. It's all very exciting. We are building our volunteer base and beginning to take referrals in Oxford. And what it looks like to volunteer with Safe Families, I actually had a really lovely conversation today with somebody who's been with the charity for 10 years. Working in the Northeast. And so he told me a little bit about what our future might be in 10 years' time. So he and his wife started supporting a mum 10 years ago. And she had one of her children removed, and then was just in a bit of a crisis with her other children. And his wife, what she did was she met up with this mum and had a cup of tea every week, just spent time really valuing her. And he was talking about how this mum just really appreciated that almost everybody else in her life were professionals who wanted something for her. But this man's wife actually wanted to be her friend, wanted to spend time with her, and wanted to just value her as a person. And that made an immediate difference to her. But now 10 years later, he was talking about how they're still in contact with this family. This mum has not only thrived and got her own work, but the child that was placed with another family has come back, has been reunited with her. And it's just a wonderful story to the future of actually what Safe Families could look like in Oxford. So we work with volunteers. They do all sorts of things like have coffee or take kids out to play, mentor teenagers. It can look in all sorts of different ways. It could also look like going around and helping with decorating, which you've just been talking about, and that sort of thing. We also really love people to partner with us in prayer. So that's part of why I'm here to ask you guys to partner with me praying for Safe Families as we start in Oxford and as we reach out to the vulnerable in our community and in our city. And we also ask people to partner by giving to us regularly. Oxford's model is slightly different, so we actually are funded by the church generosity of the churches, which is amazing. And if you would like to give to that kind of pool of money, actually the best thing to do is to email me. My email is on another slide in a minute, and I can pass on the details so that it can go straight to the Oxford project. And so things I would love you to pray for is, at the moment, like I said, I'm mostly spending time building our volunteer base. And it's been quite a privilege to talk to our new volunteers. Lots of them actually have been through really difficult things themselves. And it's been a privilege to hear them talk about how God has come to them. They've experienced healing, and actually they want to use that, their experience, to reach out to other people who are going through something really difficult. And it's quite a privilege to hear their stories. If you could also pray for our families. I've got one who we're already working with. There's a couple of others who hopefully we'll have a referral from soon. But this one family is very isolated. They don't feel like they can leave the home. So I really want a volunteer to just come alongside them and actually help knit them into their community. And then I can't actually see what I put at the bottom. There we go. Yes. And then just generally for Oxford, I have a real heart for the city of Oxford as a whole. I have a real heart to see God's kingdom displayed through the churches. And that's part of my passion of working for Safe Families, actually, is enabling the church to really reach out to the vulnerable in the city. So I want to encourage you to just pray for our city, pray for the vulnerable, pray for God's kingdom to be shown through how we speak and how we act towards those in our city.
That's brilliant, Sally. Thank you so much. And how do these families get to you and get to us? We get to supply volunteers.
Yeah.
Who are these people? How do we find these people in our city?
The the families.
Yeah.
So Oxford's working slightly differently than the rest of our different local authorities we work in. And actually the local, we've got local referrers like Fraser in your church. And so they then are putting the referrals through. So if you are aware of a family through maybe a toddler group you're running at church, some churches through their food bank, or they've got citizens' advice attached. If you're aware of somebody who's actually a family who's isolated, who is struggling, who's getting towards that point of crisis, but before they've really, everything has escalated, then do talk to Fraser, or equally, my email is there. You can contact me through my email. That's the way to contact me as well. If you'd love to volunteer with us, I'd love to connect families, church volunteers with families, and if you'd like to give to Oxford as well.
Brilliant, thank you. And just to say, if you heard James Patterson talking about the Hope Trust a few weeks ago on a Sunday, there is a connection here. You know that Hope Trust employs Kirsten to do Christians Against Poverty CAP work. The Hope Trust also gives to Safe Families in Oxford to help employ Sally, along with a load of other churches in Oxford as well.
Yeah.
So that's what St Ebbe's are doing to support Safe Families. And locally, we are getting on board at Grace Church.
Yeah.
All good?
Great. Lovely.
Great,
Thank
lovely.
you.
We're going to pray. I'll grab that off you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sally. And let's go back to all the prayer points there. They all are, they're coming. There they all are. We're going to pray for 10 minutes in our groups and on Zoom. Let's pray together.